Imagine standing beside an elephant, not the massive creature tourists photograph, not the unstoppable force capable of uprooting entire trees, but one that is quietly standing still. Around one of its legs is nothing more than a thin rope. No chains, no steel, no reinforced cage, just a rope tied to a wooden stake. You wonder why it doesn't leave. Then someone tells you the story. When it was young, the elephant fought with everything it had. It pulled, it strained, it exhausted itself trying to escape. Eventually, it stopped trying. Years later, the rope remained, not because it was strong enough, but because the elephant believed it was. For decades, this story has been shared as a scientific experiment, a lesson about why people stay trapped inside invisible limitations. There's only one problem. The experiment probably never happened. No verified record, no published study, no evidence that the famous 1967 elephant experiment ever existed. The story is fiction. And yet, it may still describe something terrifyingly real. Because perhaps the rope was never the point. Perhaps the real prison was never outside the elephant. It was inside the prediction. The strangest prisons rarely have walls. Most of them exist inside expectations. Every brain on Earth is constantly making predictions, not just about the weather or tomorrow, but about reality itself. Before you touch a hot stove, your brain predicts pain. Before you hear your own name, your attention shifts before you're even conscious of it. Before you enter a room, your mind has already decided what is likely to happen. This isn't laziness, it's efficiency. If the brain waited to calculate everything from scratch, you would never survive. Instead, it builds shortcuts, patterns, internal maps. And those maps become more trusted than reality itself. Because your brain isn't designed to show you the world as it is. It's designed to show you the world it expects. Most of the time, those expectations keep you alive. Sometimes, they become invisible cages. Imagine trying something over and over and over again. Every attempt ends the same way. Failure. Eventually, something changes. Not outside you, inside you. At first, the thought is, I can't. Later, it becomes, I don't. Eventually, it transforms into something much deeper. This is who I am. That is how identities are born, not through truth, but through repetition. Psychologists call one version of this learned helplessness. When organisms repeatedly experience situations where effort changes nothing, they often stop trying, even after the situation changes. The original elephant story may be fictional, but the psychological pattern isn't, because humans do something even more dangerous. We don't simply remember failure, we build our personalities around it. I'm bad with money. I'm terrible at relationships. I'm not creative. I'm not confident. I'm just not that kind of person. Notice how none of these describe temporary experiences. They describe permanent identities. The prison has moved from the environment into the self. Most people believe they seek happiness, but neuroscience suggests something stranger. The brain often seeks predictability, even when predictability hurts. A miserable certainty frequently feels safer than an uncertain opportunity. This explains why people remain in careers they hate, relationships that drain them, habits they openly despise, not because suffering feels good, but because suffering they've already mapped. feels less dangerous than freedom they've never experienced. The unknown consumes energy. The familiar conserves it. So your mind quietly whispers, "Stay," not because it's right, but because it's known. And over time, comfort disguises itself as truth. One of the most unsettling discoveries about perception is that seeing isn't passive. Vision isn't a camera, it's a negotiation. Your brain filters billions of signals every second. Most never reach awareness, not because they aren't there, but because your brain decided they weren't important. The same thing happens psychologically. Once you've concluded, "I'll never succeed," your attention begins collecting evidence. Every rejection confirms it. Every setback reinforces it. Every mistake becomes proof. Meanwhile, every success becomes luck. Every compliment becomes politeness. Every opportunity becomes impossible. Reality hasn't changed. Your filter has. The prison isn't maintained by facts. It's maintained by selective perception. The rope no longer needs to hold you. Your attention does it for free. Here's the question almost nobody asks. How many of your current beliefs were created by someone who no longer exists, not another person? You, the 11-year-old who failed in class, the teenager who was rejected, the child who was told to stay quiet, the young adult who couldn't afford to dream. They're gone, cell by cell. Your body has changed. Your knowledge has changed. Your circumstances have changed. Yet many of the predictions remain untouched. You are living with software written for hardware that no longer exists. The child needed those beliefs. The adult may not, but the brain doesn't automatically update its maps. It waits until reality forces it to, or until you deliberately question them. There is one sentence capable of keeping someone trapped for decades. "I already know what will happen." Those 6 words quietly eliminate curiosity, experimentation, growth, possibility. You stop testing reality because you've mistaken memory for prophecy. Every prediction left unchallenged strengthens. Every assumption repeated solidifies. Every avoided risk makes the invisible rope slightly thicker. Eventually, you no longer need external limitations. You become your own jailer, not through fear alone, but through certainty. Maybe the famous elephant experiment never happened. Maybe there was never a scientist, never a laboratory, never a baby elephant tied to a tiny stake. But perhaps that's why the story survived. Not because it was true, because it felt true, because somewhere inside all of us, there is a rope we've stopped testing, a belief inherited from an older version of ourselves, a prediction quietly masquerading as reality. The question was never whether the elephant could escape. The question is whether it ever discovered that the world had changed before it did. Tonight, before you decide something is impossible, ask yourself one unsettling question. Am I trapped by reality or by a prediction I forgot to question? Because sometimes the strongest prison isn't built from iron, it's built from yesterday, and the door has been unlocked for years.